Bada boom. Bada boom. Here we go. I got everything in front of me. What are my levels look like? I don't want to be too loud. All right. Okay. Let me just making sure my desk is straight. Everything's where it should be. All right. All right then. Cool. All right. Got double fisting some White Claws. So, the Claws Law today on welcome to this episode of the Indistinct Conversation podcast. I am Nelson Crawford, and the man hitting a bong who was rushing me to start the show is Xander Cook.
Hey everybody.
Yeah. Here we go. We're here again. Doing another thing. Hold on, let me get the clean side of my microphone on camera. There we go. Yeah, we're doing we're pulling out the blicky on them, getting ready to do some shooting. Cause Xander's got a whole full page of notes that I feel like have stemmed from a call that I made to him at 4 a.m. last night.
Yeah. I don't normally get emergency calls from Nelson at 4 a.m, and they're extra funny when they have disco music in the background and you can't understand what the fuck is going on. Was I listening
to disco last night? I don't remember what music was playing.
Dude, I don't know what it was, but you called me and I picked up the phone and it was like something that had a danceable beat, and I was dead asleep. You know what I mean? I was like,
it just sounds like I'm calling you from some like Coke disco. Like, yo, dude, you won't believe this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like you sent me these texts about your buddy, and I'm like, that's fucking.
Well, he's not my buddy anymore. That's for damn sure.
Well, sure. But
we'll get to that.
I'm like, my first thought is like, oh man, Nelson needs a friend right now. He must be in a sad, dark place. And then I pick up the phone and it's like dance music, and I'm like, it's 4 a.m. I can't fucking do this.
I wasn't sad as much as I was like shocked and surprised and a bit upset. Yeah,
I get that. I get that, but can we before we dig into that bad stuff, before we talk about anything negative, I thought of some good news. Can we talk good news for a little bit before we rant about all the bad news? Because there's so much bad news. It's like we should try to do good news first. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Krasinski, I'll hear you out. What's your good news?
Okay, good news. I got new shoes.
Oh shit! I got a new trash can today. It says,
"Fuck yeah!"
Look at it. It says trash.
Oh, perfect.
I know, right?
That's kind of the sneaker. I got some sneakers because I've only been wearing work boots for like 2 years.
I know. I come to your house and you wear sweatpants and work boots, and I'm like, this man.
Yeah, it's weird.
This man needs casual bizarre shoes.
Yeah, and so I bought some sneakers. I found this company that I've always wanted somewhere between Vans and Chuck Taylors, and I found them. But I'm not going to plug them until they start paying me advertising money. So they know who they are. And I just want to throw that out there. Do you have any good news? Do you have good news before I move on to my next one?
Oh shit! Well, I thought I cleaned my hook out this morning. Apparently not.
Okay.
But I bought a new trash can, stocked up on White Claws today because gotta take care of the body. You can't.
That's my third item was going to be plenty of booze, so we're on the same page there. Right? White Claws, Guinness, yeah, hell yeah.
Because I've been drinking these heavy beers, the last couple days, and I'm just like, oh man, like.
Sorry.
Like I love. Yeah, there's that, but it's just like you gotta stay hydrated. The Claws the law,
I'm a bad influence, man, but yeah, those seltzers can be okay. I mix it up though. I keep the Guinness on camera, but I drink those like homemade smoothie daiquiris all the time. So okay, we both got plenty of blues going on. Yes. I wrote 2 reviews. That's a good one. That's some more good news. And we got 2 reviews coming out.
We're constantly pumping out these gaming videos.
we're finally doing it, right? We're getting in the groove. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're in the pocket right now. We're in the pocket,
bro. This is where we've been trying to be for like the last year. We're finally there. So fuck yeah.
All it took was it took a global pandemic, and here we are.
You know, if anything's gonna light a fire under my ass, it's thousands of dead Americans every single day.
I mean, yeah.
Do you remember when 9/11? Do you remember when 9/11 happened and we changed everything?
Dude,
and now this is happening. We're trying to act like nothing is different.
Yeah, it is.
9/11 happens like every 4 days now.
It's because it's because the fact that this is so bad is our fault, whereas 9/11 was like a terrorist attack, which it was just one freak thing that happened. Yeah, depending on who you talk to, it could also be our fault. But
George Bush should have stopped it. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but so this is like, oh well.
Anyway, that's a different episode.
Yeah,
I have one more. I have one more good news for you, bro.
Okay, what do you got?
I ordered birthday presents for you and my little sister months ago. They finally shipped out.
Did we both get the same things? Did you get her and I the same thing?
Well, you're both really into butt plugs. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
You bought your sister a butt plug?
Yeah, that's what you get for your middle school aged sister,
right?
Oh,
that sister. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, don't do that. That's gross. Satire, people. Satire. This is comedy. Yeah. Comedy.
No. Satire, comedy, satire. No, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but they're from the same company, and I think you're going to like yours. She might like hers. I think I got her favorite Pokemon, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all my good news. I have 4 good newses right now, and then I have a page of bad news. Do you have any other positive energy before we get into this shit, or do you want to just go for it, bro?
I found a YouTube channel today that I think I'm gonna do a video on. It's this guy that like reviews sex toys, mainly pocket pussies.
Good.
And
good.
Yeah, no, it's good. Sexual health is a good thing, and
someone needs to be doing
comfortability.
That job.
All the I stand a short king who's comfortable with their sexuality. Let's sync up again. All right. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Yeah.
Close enough. That well, you got to clap too. I can't. Sorry, folks. There were some technical difficulties. We were getting shut down by the man. But yeah, the last thing I was telling you about was I found this YouTube channel with this guy that reviews pocket pussies. And
right, yes, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and
I'm back now. I'm back. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and like he fucking like opened it up and lubed it up and went off camera to use it. And like if you could ever see shame in the face of a pocket pussy, it was on this thing when he put it back on the table.
It's funny because I was thinking of doing something like that after my accident earlier today. I was thinking like that would be
something like what?
That would be a good Pornhub channel, right? Just like tutorials about like how to handle your junk. You know?
Oh my god.
So I might actually do that for like awkward teenagers. Like, look, guys, this is how you wax your sack. This is how you.
I'm recording the thing, and I just realized there's this fucking balls thing, like right underneath the fucking thing in the chat. I have to fucking move the fucking camera thing. God damn it. Okay.
You better.
Yeah, so I'll keep a pink running ball sack in the bottom corner of this video thing.
You know what? I'm working hard over here. I'm just trying to make it more entertaining for everybody.
Oh, hilarious. Okay, so
do you want to? So we had our salad, we had our veggies. Do you want to get into the steak of this conversation?
Time for our big moldy steak. All right,
let's go.
So people who people who are in the know, that know about Holders, my old band, know that there are
longtime fans of Nelson Crawford.
Yeah, the dozens of them. They'll know that there were 2 different drummers in Holders, 2 different time periods. There was Cole, there in the latter half, around the end, And then at the beginning, there was John Humphreys, and he was a very divisive character, a very divisive guy, and people would give him a lot of shit for, things that they thought he was, and he wasn't that, and I staunchly defended him for it, and, and so basically him and I were talking last night, catching up, and just out of nowhere, like really completely out of nowhere, like unasked about all this shit, he just starts like getting he just starts making these like weird like anti-Semitic comments, and I'm like, what the fuck? And like, I'm just like, John, are you anti-Semitic? And he's just like, yeah, dude. And I'm like, whoa, what? Because I'm just like, what? Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what the fuck? And he's just like, oh, well, I mean, what is that like a bad thing? And I'm like, yeah, it's a fucking bad thing. And like, oh my god, it got so bad, dude. It was like
so.
It's like he's telling me. Hold on, he's telling me all these things about how like, the only reason, the only reason for this, that, and the other is because of like, Jewish people, and all these like fucking weird viewpoints and all this shit, and even saying how like it's like, oh yeah, no, my sister disagrees with me, but she's all into this fucking social justice warrior PC bullshit, and I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? And
God like, damn it.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, so back then when people were just like, oh man, I don't know about John, I was like, no, he's good. He was like, no, I wasn't like that back then. But basically what happened was, like, in his words, it was like, people's viewpoints got to him so much that he just, said, fuck it, why not? Let me just go into this. And I'm like, dude, you're telling this to me, a black person who's had, people have their views on me for 25 goddamn years, and that doesn't fucking change who I am,
Exactly.
It's like if people call you racist, enough times, that doesn't mean you just gotta sit back and think, oh, maybe I should be racist. It's like,
dude, I've been accused of the craziest shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wear those fucking, like, I wear all these metal band t-shirts with the satanic shit on it, and now that QAnon is like the biggest, coolest thing among Trump supporters, I've like just gone to a Mexican joint to have margaritas and had some redneck be like, get that fucking pedophile out of here. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, I've had confrontations like that. Like, that pentagram, that Satan shit, you must be a satanic pedophile like Hillary Clinton. No, brother. No, jeez, I'm not. Yeah. I like a heavy metal band. Remember heavy metal? Like when you were cool, when you were 35 years old, you piece of shit. But you know what, dude?
Yeah.
I called this shit out. Longtime fans of me on your podcast will know that this was like one of the first things we discussed.
Yeah, and dude, like I disagreed because I didn't.
This is something that they all do. Every white supremacist I've ever known starts with, they say the shit, and then they say, I was just kidding, dude. It was just a joke. I'm just seeing where your limits are, man. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. That's where they all start, dude. And you don't make those jokes unless you kind of think that way, Like, I mean, and I just made a pedophile joke, so I don't know if I just exposed my fucking darkest secret.
Yeah, that's probably not the best example, because I make jokes a lot of the time about shit that I don't feel.
But so if we give them the benefit of the doubt, it's like good comedy is punching up, right? Like fucking. I was making a riff about how, like, okay, you're accusing me of some bullshit because of my t-shirt because you have some gross association in your head. This is exactly what these racists do. He's saying I'm anti-Semitic. Wasn't he doing the whole, like, Jews are making it harder for white people? Wasn't that what you told me this morning or something like that?
Oh no, that wasn't before. I'm talking like recently.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, before this was like a non-factor. Before, yeah, he'd make he'd make like edgy jokes and all this shit, yeah, but it's like
all I know is when I talked to him that one time, it was all Pepe and Trump shit, and I was just like, dude, fuck off. I'm not here for that. You know what I mean? But
well, yeah,
I'm talking. But fast forward to today. Wasn't he doing white replacement theory shit on you, or what's going on?
No, it wasn't like white replacement theory as much as it was like. Well, one of the things that had me like just cracking up for the stupidity of it was he was trying to quote Malcolm X to me, asking me like, "Oh, what do you know about this and what do you know about that?" And I was like, "Dude, just shut the fuck up,"
Well, Malcolm X is the king of all blacks, so you should.
It was like it just all came off as this like boo-hoo, poor me, poor white guy, and I'm just like, dude, fucking get the fuck over it. Like, fucking, oh my god, you've had it so hard, being white. Like
you just haven't. Like no matter, and that's the thing. Like, I respect. Like, okay, yeah, there are poor white people. I get that, but like. It's baked into the cake that you have a slightly easier job than everybody else. I'm watching your TV. It's tripping me out.
Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck was going on back there. Yeah,
there's cool shit going on.
But yeah, like I even called him out because he tried to give me the whole numbers thing about about how the violence is affecting more white people than black people, and I'm like, John, you idiot, it's because there are more white people, and if you compared the numbers,
there's this thing called per capita,
exactly, and I'm like, if you put the yeah, it's like there's a whole video on it. This guy does this whole fucking video comparing the numbers and having it like, okay, well, if there were just as many white people as there were black people, then black people would still, be like 40. It would be like 40 times bigger or some shit. Which is
but they teach that shit in the fourth grade. Like and you know what? It's not a fair comparison to make because of all the socioeconomic differences. Fucking. Like, you want to make that comparison in the 21st century as if everything is on an equal playing ground to start with. And it's like, no.
Oh, it's not.
Sorry. There's 500 years of slavery that we still have to account. You know what I mean? Like that's we've talked about this before. It's like, it's not an equal playing field, guys. Like, if you're white and you're proud, cool, but you're proud of the fact that you had slaves for 500 years. So fucking eat ass, you piece of shit.
Yeah, you're proud that systemically, I have a leg up, and it's like, yeah.
And we like, see we Southern flags and like metal bands and like Lynyrd Skynyrd and shit like that, and it's like the fucking Confederate flags like of these stores that are like, white and proud and all this shit, and it's like, you shouldn't be. There's no
heritage, not hate.
Oh, fuck.
Whatever. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. It's like, you're proud of what? You're proud of being lazy. You're proud of other people doing the work for you. Really? You're proud of drinking fucking lemonade and sweet tea with whiskey in it while you make people work for you, you piece of shit. I have no respect for that type of person.
Yeah, it's it ain't pretty, man. That wasn't pretty. It ain't pretty, Xander. All right, so
I like your high voice, man. We have a good contrast,
You've been bragging about this goddamn page and a half of notes. Well, let's break on through and get into this, man.
Well, I know how your buddy got here because I've got friends who got here too several times, man.
So we're calling this episode "What to Do when you find out your friend's a Nazi."
Yeah, I literally titled my page "Finding Out Your Friend's a Nazi." So
I haven't had this happen to me, more than this time. I mean, I've had times where I've found out, like, not exactly my friends, but people I know have some fucked up racial views. And, and I'm just like, well, I'm glad I'm not friends with them. But this was weird because I was just like, oh, man, this dude used to be pretty tight. And now he's been like, oh, poor me, and basically, instead of trying to do something to quell the opinions that people have on him, he's just been like, I'm gonna lean into the swerve and just be a shitty person, which is like, I was like, dude, that's a fucking cop out, and that's weak. And I think that you're a weak person for
for
using that as an excuse.
That bad person. That's all that proves.
It was probably in there, and it just needed, it was under, all this fragile shit that, that eventually got cracked. And now it's just like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna just be that, because it used to be this thing where, people would put these thoughts on him, and he'd be like, dude, no, that's not me, because it's like, looking at his life at the time, it's like, yeah, he's playing in a band, he's friends and bandmates with the black guy, he's living with his older sister who was like an out and out lesbian and all this stuff, and like he had. He had his family had like some immigrants living with him that were kind of falling on hard times, and they had given him a place to live, to help out with like his grandma or whatever.
He's been surrounded by people who do the right thing.
Exactly. So like it's just like he knows, and he fucking knew, and so it's just like.
So he feels like doing the wrong thing is an act of rebellion. He feels punk by being a racist.
I guess so, and that's and
this is all part of what like I've experienced, dude, for real. So and just so the audience knows, I got the receipts. I scrolled up on our messages from 4 a.m. this morning. You did literally said, I got tired of hearing some white dude tell me how broke he was and how much harder white people had it than black people, and it's the Jews' fault. So he was.
Oh yeah, that was a part of it. Yes, that was a part of it.
He was doing the Jewish. It's all the Jews' fault thing, and that is white replacement theory, where they talk about the Jews are spending all their money to make sure the blacks and Latinos and Muslims replace white people, and it's to imply that everyone else is bad and the white people are it's whites against everybody, and that's big. That's on Tucker Carlson. That's on Rush Limbaugh, and it's classic Nazi shit. So. If any white person says it's all the Jews, whether they know it or not, they are being Nazis. That's a thing, and I'll stand by that. If you think you're not being a Nazi and you're a white replacement guy, inbox me. I'll fuck you up. So I had to call all those fuckers.
You gotta box them. You gotta inbox them.
I'll just let them know where they come from. That's all you need to do. You're a bunch of fucking white bread, inbred fucking. I don't want to say cracker ass, but you are like. I think piece of shit.
We can say cracker ass on this show.
Yeah, you can call somebody a crack. Yeah, and it's like it seems basic to me, but yeah, that's what they are. They're basic. They're weak. They're frail, and they need slaves, or they can't even build a basic society. So what a bunch of fucking cowards. You know what I mean? And
yeah, so, I just got word from our producer. We can say cracker ass on this show.
Good. All right, we're doing it then.
Yeah,
Today's episode is
Piranha Plant
cracker ass.
Piranha Plant producer approved it.
This kind of ties in. Here's a current thing that ties in. Do you remember Tucker Carlson? Fox News.
How could I forget him?
You heard how his head writer was forced to quit? Do you remember? Yeah. Did you hear about that?
No. I mean, why would
it turned out he's a moderator on a white supremacist forum online.
Wow, surprise. So
the guy who's been writing Tucker's scripts for years has also been guiding white supremacists on the internet for years.
Well, I'm not surprised there.
Me neither. But isn't it funny that came out and it's just there now and it's just a fact? With all the other Nazi shit going on, that's just Fox News' biggest guy. The guy who's been telling people with coronavirus to go to bars.
Jesus Christ.
So that's part of it too, is that a lot of these people don't even understand that they're Nazis. They don't understand that they're advocating for white supremacy because it's on TV. It's on Fox News when they go to the fucking Chinese buffet. You know what I mean?
My Chinese buffet doesn't play Fox News.
I used to go to one where one TV had Fox News and the other one had MSNBC. and I would just I just felt like my brain was melting the whole time.
Yeah, that's wow. That is like, yeah, that's I guess as mainstream media goes, that's pretty far left and far right. Just right next to each other.
That's the extremes of cable news. But then there was no volume on either one. It was just the subtitles.
Oh man.
And they'd be playing music that was classical music, but it was pop music and grunge music.
What?
So there no shit, dude. This is a real thing. It was like they would have like who did Baby I'm a Fireball, Wrecking Ball, or whatever that fucking song is, Fuck it, dude.
I know what you're talking about. I just wanted to hear you sing more of Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus.
No, it was Wrecking Ball, right? Okay, cool. So yeah,
it was
they had like that, but done by violins. But then they also had like Smells Like Teen Spirit done by violins, and it was like a bunch of other shit like. Yeah, so I'd be like sitting there eating my Chinese noodles, and I look to my right, and there's Sean Hannity talking about racism, and I look to my left, there's MSNBC talking about how cool Obama is. I'm just losing my mind.
You're like bum 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 bum. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck is happening?
Like, like so annoying. Oh God.
Man, yeah, that'd fucking drive me up a wall. Holy shit.
So while we're talking about just racism and how infectious it is, how about I think we joked before about he was like a Korean guy who was really into the Confederacy. He went viral a couple years ago.
What?
You don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
He's like a meme. You can Google like Asian Confederate.
I mean, I think I know what you're talking about, but I probably don't know his name.
Yeah, this is like a guy who is like he looks like Kim Jong-un in a Confederate outfit with a fucking stars and bars Confederate flag behind him, talking about how the white race is the superior race, and that was cracking me up back then. But before shit got real, like that was like when we were just kidding about everything.
That whole master race shit. That whole master race shit always makes me laugh because it's
so stupid. God. It's so stupid. We're all the same species, boy. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like,
I got into a fucking laughing fit today because I was on Twitter and there was a Twitter thread with pictures of Donald Trump's parents, and holy shit, I don't know how I've never seen these people.
They look like vampires.
Dude. Oh my God, these are the most
They're like scarier than Bram Stoker, dude. They look like they just eat blood.
Dude, yeah. They're the most fucked up looking people I think I've ever seen.
Like I hate white people, and those are the ugliest white people. What the fuck?
There was a picture of him. There's a picture of him, and somebody was like, "Yo, why my man's face look like it's falling off the bone?" Oh man, that shit killed me.
It's like when you simmer a pork chop for too long, right?
It's like, They said he looked like Mr. Crocker from Fairly Odd Parents because his ear was like on his neck.
Oh, God. All right. But, so, yeah. So that's who's in charge of our country right now.
Yeah, dude, his parents are so gross looking. Holy shit.
I saw a headline today that was a dude who called the cops because he kept getting... He kept getting verbally abused by strangers in parking lots because he had a giant swastika flag on the back of his SUV.
Well, that's not a good thing to have on your car.
He was a Latinx guy, and he lived in like California. And it's like, yeah, man, did you expect a positive reaction? Like, first of all, those guys would send you to the camps too. Like,
yeah,
let's be real. Like, you're too tan for that shit, dude. Like,
yeah, I mean, nobody really had it good for a while besides white people.
Well, with Nazi Germany, it was only white people, and preferably only the blonde ones. Like,
exactly, it was like it was white people, but only some white people. Which
yeah,
is
it was like only some white folks. Like, people don't even understand that. It was like you had to be blonde, blue hair. I mean, blue eyes, like pale skin.
Which is why, like, I feel like even white people are just like, you know what? Yeah, no, fuck Nazis. They were even like, fuck white people. So
well, and that's part of it. It's like. Anybody who has met anybody that is just, I mean, I don't know. Like I think we've talked about this before, but it's like I went to elementary school in like Florida, and I moved to Utah and felt like when I moved back to Utah as a middle schooler and high schooler, it was immediately like weird and shocking to me because everybody was white.
Yeah, Utah sucks, dude.
It sucks, dude, and it's like. And I try to project that onto like the nation as a whole, where it's like you got your California, you got your New York, you got your Florida. There's a few in Georgia, Atlanta, Metro Atlanta specifically.
Dude, there's a big difference between Georgia and Atlanta.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're Metro Atlanta. That's what I meant to say, not rural Georgia, because that's the outworld.
It's a whole
you don't want to go out there. And I've talked about that with people before, where they're like, you shouldn't talk about the South like the South is extra racist. And I'm like, do you want to come to the South and see how racist they are?
Yeah, it's like
they're pretty.
It's like, have you been?
As a white guy, I'm terrified.
Yeah, it's like, have you been to the South? Because it's not very good.
Scary, dude.
Yeah, I mean, people are pretty fucked.
It's just extra fucked up that we can see Asian and Latinx, and I've seen viral pictures online of black people with swastikas tattooed on their arms.
Yeah, dude, like, I don't even understand that shit. Like,
and it's like if there are white supremacists that aren't even white, then this is a huge fight, and we need to get real about it. Like,
yeah, that's the one thing I can't understand. To like be a black person, I'm saying be a black person from my own standpoint. But, like, to be black and be like, yeah, man, fuck all these niggers. And it's just like, what? Like, that's you, dog. Like, what are you doing?
It's like imagine doing that. Like, I just want to take it to, like, the next step and be like, maybe we should do this between, like, different species, Maybe there's like a dog who hates all dogs and wants to be a horse, I
mean, there are dogs. I mean, there are plenty of dogs that don't like other dogs. Which I'm like, why would you even get that dog if that dog doesn't like other dogs? Like, dogs, people love dogs because dogs are the best. Like, dogs are just like, oh, you're nice to me, you're cool. I don't care, but you get a dog that doesn't.
Cool.
You get a dog a dog that doesn't like dogs or doesn't like other people. Get rid of that dog. I mean, I'm not okay. White people are going to be really mad that I said that.
That's kind of the point that we're trying to make, though. Is like, dude, if you're a Nazi, you're gone. Just fuck off. Like, we don't want you. Go to your Nazi state. Go to your Nazi island. Like, let's just put all the Nazis on one island because they want to put all their hated minorities into a fucking concentration camp. Just put all them in their fucking concentration camp.
Well, I mean, then you get like a hive mind thing. You end up with a more racist Australia, and we don't need that.
No, I disagree. It's the opposite of a hive mind because they're never allowed to leave. They all just end up dying.
Well, it'd be a hive mind because fucking white supremacists and Nazis can't think for themselves. So
yeah, well, we just put a lid on it, though. We don't let them back out.
I don't know, dude. Maybe.
But so
Nazi island.
You are banished to Nazi island, and it's the moon.
No.
No, it's just the moon, and the spaceship just opens, and there's no oxygen, and your head just explodes, and you die. And that's what Nazi Island is. It's just they should make racist skeletons.
They should like send racist people on like dangerous space missions. You know, instead of like chimps and dogs.
Yo,
just
how about this?
Send a racist guy up there.
Yo.
He'll be so mad about all the darkness around him.
Forget about pro wrestling. Forget about UFC. Racist versus racist fighting championship.
Oh, Nazi Fight League. Oh.
The NFL. Nazi Fight
League. Oh shit.
Tom Brady's the ref.
Holy fuck. Jesus Christ.
Hey, okay, let's get real for a second, okay?
Oh, man, that got me, dude. Tom Brady's the referee.
No, settle down. We have to talk about the real issues, because racism isn't the real problem. The real problem is Antifa. Antifa are the real Nazis.
I'm sorry, what? What's happening? Where did we go? Am I still on it? Am I still on my show? What happened?
No, because the real Nazis are Antifa. Because you know what?
Oof.
Antifa has never killed anybody.
Do those numbers check out?
Antifa has not killed any. But there was, remember the Charlottesville rally in 2016, where that Nazi killed a protester with his car, Heather Heyer?
I mean, I don't know their names, but I know it happened.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah, that was 2016. And then, remember Dylan Roof, who went to that black church and prayed with everybody and then killed all of them? That's the white guy. And then the cops took him to get Burger King afterwards.
Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah, he killed a lot of people, but Antifa are the real Nazis. But you know how cops just keep killing black folks and they just keep doing it and it's always in the news and it's more names than I can list right now.
No, I hadn't heard.
Breonna Taylor
is that a thing?
Just asleep in her house, and George Floyd.
Okay, speaking of Breonna Taylor, can we talk about how people kind of got out of hand by it kind of turned into a meme for a second of just it's been a nice day. I went outside, I tied my shoes, I checked my mail, and arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor. And it's just what? Well, I don't know if you saw if you saw any of that.
That's that white privilege style of activism that doesn't
it really
activism. But I felt like it was worth mentioning because she's not the only one. There's a lot of people.
But it definitely started to turn into a meme, and people kind of had to check themselves and get their shit together.
Well, because it hasn't happened yet. And just today, so there was a protest at the Attorney General's house. There were 87 people who just sat in their lawn and said, you should investigate the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. They all got charged with felonies. And a week ago in the same city, there was over 100 open the city back up anti-COVID protesters, white folks with guns, pounding on the mayor's windows and trying to break into their house, and they didn't get charged with anything. But I have two more on my why Antifa is the real enemy list before we move on, and I'm gonna grab cold beers because these are warm.
If people haven't realized, the whole Antifa is the real enemy is a sarcastic title. Hey. I feel like somebody might hear that and be like, wait, I'm so confused. What's happening?
Take me out of context if you're that fucking desperate.
Oh, I'm sure people will. Oh man, you've made it when there's a out of context Twitter page of your shit. Oh. I love a lot of those, such and such, out of context.
There's a few specific Twitch streamers who I hope we get their attention soon because I can't wait to roast them. They're extra chubby and they'll be greasy as fuck. They'll be like a Hawaiian pig pie. But the first school shooting that I ever remember was Columbine, which happened on Hitler's birthday. So that's
okay. Yeah,
but Antifa is the real danger. It's not white supremacy, and even Charles Manson just wanted a race war. He just wanted to make all the different races mad at each other, you know. Can you vamp for 30 seconds while I grab some beverages?
Oh yes, let me do my best to vamp and try and keep a casual podcast after Xander just sat back and said, "Hey, you remember Columbine?" Because I mean, fuck, what a heavy task to do. I feel like there's no other time, no better time to sit back and take a look in the mirror and I don't know, fucking do some self-reflection. I have to do that shit all the time because I drink a lot. So, you know, if I ever say something mean to somebody, you know, I got to take some self-reflection and be like, okay, I said something mean while I was drunk. And, you know, if you're racist, you know, it's kind of worse because you weren't drunk. I mean, you can be drunk and racist, but a lot of the time, people don't have to be drunk to be racist. So, if I can, you know, say something mean after a night of drinking and apologize for it, I think you can, you know, not be racist. Also, what were we talking about, Xander? What's up? There you go.
So, what I just picked up from you is he says the inappropriate shit, then apologizes the next day, or didn't even do that?
I was just vamping. No, I mean I hung up the phone last night because I was just like, wow. Okay. Like eventually I was just like, dude.
No, I've been on both sides of that. I've both had to just cut off people completely. And I've also done the thing where I say inappropriate shit and then realize what I've done and had to like say, hey, I'm sorry I did that. Like, can we please talk about it as adults instead of in my anger, right?
Yeah.
I think that's...
yeah, I mean, I went back and I looked at some stuff from last night, and I saw that I guess part of this conversation started because of a post that I found that I shared of fuck, hold on, let me see if I can pull this post back up. It was like
it doesn't have to be verbatim, you know.
Yeah, it was a post of like this black writer, this black woman who's a writer who's got a show on HBO, basically fucking had to make a show that got backed by like ABC and one of their main showrunners, and basically write 2 full seasons and, you know, get a full pilot done, you know, on her own bank. But Lena Dunham came into HBO with like with like a paragraph and a rough idea for girls, and it got greenlit like on the spot. And
I thought that story sounded familiar, and I was why am I angry before I know the end of the story?
Yeah, and then John came in and was like, well, she's Jewish. And I'm just like, oh my god. The fact, like, okay, yes, but I think the whiteness kind of overshadowed the fact that she's Jewish, because she came in with a paragraph, you know, and a half an idea and got greenlit immediately, while somebody, you know, while a black, you know, while another, you know, black writer is fucking working their ass off and gets, you know, backed by fucking, you know, masters of the industry or whatever, and you know, still has to put in all this work before they, you know, even greenlight a fucking pilot, you know. So it's
there's been a lot of conversation about Lena Dunham already that I'm gonna say.
I don't even want to get into fucking Lena Dunham.
What you just said segues perfectly into what the next part of my paper. It's like the synergy that I just know we have, man. It's like it's baked in, man. I love it. But this is how they divide and conquer people. This is it, right? He can't be happy for a white girl. He has to say she's white, but she's Jewish, right? Like,
I don't fucking understand that.
And instead of like just like looking at the actual reality that we all see in our faces, he has to like look at the the extra dimension that he's heard from his conspiracy website.
Yeah, he wants to find a way to negate it, and it's like I've got a good bit of Jewish friends, and along with being Jewish, they know that even if you are Jewish in America, the fact, like somebody
it's
can
not
look
only
at you,
advantage, it's also a lot of disadvantage.
Well, I mean, being Jewish, you still have a certain amount of white privilege.
Sure, for sure, absolutely.
So it's like, and even I've heard this echoed by my Jewish friends, that it's just like, there is white privilege there until, it's like if they know you're Jewish, then like, there might be a thing about it.
The wrong kind of white. So
yeah, exactly.
The only way I can relate to this in like a personal way is, I've heard about how it is in like New York City or like England, where if you go to the wrong neighborhood, you're wearing the wrong sports jersey, then you might get fucked up or whatever. But the only way I've ever actually experienced that was when I moved to Salt Lake City, and I was like, I was a little kid. I was like 10, and my mom had got me like a cross necklace because like we went to church, and I was like, "Yay, Jesus,"
Yay, Jesus!
But apparently, Salt Lake City is mostly Mormons, right?
Did you get beat up by a bunch of Mormons?
Dude, according to Mormons, the cross is offensive. Mormons don't like the cross. Yeah, because it's like, well, if Jesus was killed today, would you wear an electric chair around your neck? And it's like, yeah, that actually is a really good point, and I agree with what you're saying. You know what I'm saying?
I've never heard that argument, but like,
it's like they killed him on the cross, so to use the cross as your holy symbol is kind of fucking grim, you asshole.
Well, Christianity as a whole is grim. We're gonna eat his body and drink his blood. Num 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 num. Amen. Like fucking, the whole thing's weird. So like, I don't know, man.
As a white kid who thought that was like the proper thing to do, and then I find myself in a white neighborhood where that makes me the weird guy. Yeah, I did get my ass kicked by some Mormon kids, dude, because there were like 10 of them and it was just me. Jeez. Literally like telling my 6-year-old sister, like, run home, and then like 10 Mormon kids kick my ass. Like, that sucks.
Jesus Christ.
So like,
I can't. I mean, it's bad, but just the phrase.
No, it's hilarious. It's funny as fuck, dude. And
I got beat up by a bunch of Mormons.
That's why I became the scary goth punk kid, because I wanted to have chains and spikes for when the fucking 10 Mormon kids would punk me, and then I would fight back, dude. That's real.
Oh man.
So that's kind of the fucked up thing, is like, this is how they divide people, is like they say, no, you're the wrong kind of white person. You're the rich kind of white person. I'm the poor kind of white person. And that makes me even lower than the black people. And there's a really common thing. I have a friend he's one of my best friends in the world, but I want to slap him every time he says this. Well, Irish people used to be slaves. No.
Oh boy.
No.
God.
No.
Anybody that's just like, white people were slaves too. Like, just
not the same way.
Yeah,
not
like
in this country. No.
Yeah, like let's
no. Shut
God.
up. No.
We're gonna kill that idea right now. White people were slaves too. Like,
no. And they always say Irish people were slaves, and I'm like a fifth Irish, so you can't be a fifth.
You want to know who are some of the most racist people? Irish people. So I mean, if that's your argument, it's not a very good one.
Like I said, I'm not naming names, but the guy who I'm not naming, his dad, who I'm also not naming, was that guy.
I'll name names. I don't give a fuck.
This guy, he was an Irish Mormon guy who I knew in Florida after I left Utah. So it fucked with my head extra hard.
Yeah, that whole sentence was a little bit confusing.
Yeah,
an Irish Mormon guy in Florida.
My whole life is confusing. That's why I'm so smart, Nelson. I'm weird.
Okay, Mr. Shapiro.
No, oh my God. I'm actually offended by that. I'm going to cut your scrotum with a razor now.
I got you beat, bitch.
I know what you're doing. I know what you're up to. I know that you're.
You don't know me. I'm over here. I'm praying to God.
Nelson's ball sack is 77% scar tissue. It's really gross. I don't know why he thinks his scrotum needs to be that scarred and tough, but it's like,
I mean, hey, dude,
I
don't have to explain a damn thing to you, Xander.
If Sagat from Street Fighter was a ball sack, that would be Nelson's ball sack. It's missing an eye. It's got a big ass scar across the chest, but it's really tough.
It shows that it's tough. Yeah,
it's hard to beat. You got to have the right combos.
Yeah, my dick's all taped up like his fists.
I had a whole political point I wanted to make, and we started talking about testicles. And I'm glad we did it, frankly. I'm glad that we moved on to balls.
Gotta add a little bit of levity there, yeah. Yeah.
But that's the example. I think the example was made. It's like they try to divide us. You know what I mean? No matter what, they try to break us up into groups. And and
because
the real groups are. Because the real groups are poor people and rich people. You know? There's like 25 rich people, and then there's everybody else. And those rich people are all about, like, what if we make the Jews bad guys to whites? And then what if we trick the Latinos into also being Nazis, even though they can't even be Nazis? You know what I mean? And I didn't mean to do the Jewish voice when I was doing the 1%.
Was that your Jewish voice?
It wasn't the worst one I could do. I was thinking Bill Gates, but I feel like it came out like
Is
Epstein.
Bill Gates Jewish?
No, that's what I was saying. It's like I wanted it to be nerdy white boy, and it came out more like Jewy white boy, and I don't want either.
I think you can't. I don't know. Dude, I got so lost in all of that, like, because I feel like you can do nerdy white guy. Like, I have my white guy voice. I have like two different kinds of white guy voices. I feel
like hello. This is normal voice. That's nerdy white guy voice. So I have to exaggerate it, and the only way I know how to exaggerate it is to Jew it up, and then I end up sounding like again.
Well, okay, let's drop the term Jew it up.
I'm allowed to Jew it up. All right. I've had sex with Jewish people.
Oh, so have I. I mean...
All right. So that's it. We can be anti-Semitic.
Did I ever tell you how... well, that doesn't qualify. That's the... that's the I have a black friend of excuses right there.
I use that constantly. All the time. 10% off at Kroger.
God damn it. Oh, do you have a Kroger card? No, but I have a black friend. All right, qualifies.
No, but I do a podcast with a black man.
Yeah, like, oh, well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, that's... well, we got... All right, he's good. He's fine.
It's fine. 7 of those beers are on us.
Oh, man. Did I ever tell you about how Sydney used to give me shit because she thought that, like, I was specifically into Jewish women? Like, I don't understand why. Like, I fucked a couple of Jewish girls. Yeah, I fucked a couple of Jewish girls, and my dad, like, made a joke. I mean, not, like, these two things are, like, completely separate. But, like, my dad made a joke that, like, oh, you know, I could see you, like, marrying a Jewish girl because, you know, she'll probably help you keep your shit together. And, like, I thought that was pretty funny. And so Sydney hears about that. She sees my fucking track record with Jewish women, and she's like, oh, Nelson's got a Jew fetish. Like, well, no. And please don't say I have a Jew fetish because that just...
Comes out with a yarmulke one day.
Huh?
Just comes home with like a yarmulke one day.
Oh my god!
I thought you might want to play dreidel.
Oh fuck! But yeah, I mean, haven't. That's been in the past for a while now. So
that's yeah. You know, there was a girl who I really liked for all of the wrong reasons, and by that I mean she wasn't hot, she wasn't cool. She was rich and Jewish, and she had connections in the record industry.
And so you were like, yes.
We would text like sexy shit to each other all night, and she'd send me pictures of her she had these great tits, but one was like way bigger than the other.
Oh no!
Like,
well, now I feel I can't. I'm gonna just let you finish.
If they had matched, it would have been like really hot. And, each one on their own was really hot, but the two as a pair, it felt like the odd couple, Oh, no. And her whole thing was she would come over at like 5 a.m. on the way to work. You know what I mean? Oh, so she was like getting up at 4 and taking a shower and getting ready for work, and like coming over to hook up with me, and then going to her office job. And it was weird. Everything about it was weird.
That does sound pretty fucking weird.
That's the only Jewish girl I ever hooked up with. So that's all I can say firsthand about Jewish girls.
Shit, dude. Oh man.
Totally
so what else?
Story.
What else you got on your notes, man? I should have asked for a better picture of this giant sheet of notes so I could segue some of this stuff.
I mean, we could have, but so I mean, I don't know. I had mentioned for a minute, it's they use racism to divide us up and make us like hate each other. You know what I mean? We have Latino or Latinx people who are waving Nazi flags and saying like, "Oh, Latin lives matter too," and it's like, yes, absolutely. Please join the struggle. You know what I mean? Like, we want you to be part of this.
Well, Xander, I don't know if you know, but all lives matter. So,
fuck. And that's. And so the final thing I really made.
How do we change their minds? How do we educate them?
That's my final thing.
That's the only thing I could read on your notes.
I have a couple paragraphs before that where it's like,
all right, let's run it.
The shit that makes them mad is capitalism. All right.
I'm listening.
The reason that middle class and working class white people can't get jobs right now is because in the 80s and 90s, all those jobs went to China because all the fucking corporate, owners of those businesses wanted to hire the cheapest labor possible.
Yeah, cheap labor, all that shit.
Yeah. And instead of putting that money back into this country where they're from by paying taxes or hiring people to do jobs at home, they just kept the money. And they've been doing that for 60 years.
God damn. I mean, the anger of like poor white people is so misplaced.
It's exactly right. That's that old South Park joke. They took our job. No.
They took our jobs.
Your boss gave another guy your job because he was going to do it for 1/10 of the price.
That's like somebody getting mad, like, oh, I lost my job, to machine labor, and now I hate technology. And it's like, no, hate your boss, you idiot. Like, what are you doing?
Well, the easiest way to explain it to me. So, if you're in line to get some food, right?
Yeah.
There's somebody in charge of carving up the pizza, right? That's the wealthy class.
Wait. So, what? So you're so you're in line.
You're in line to get food, okay?
You're at the pizza line.
There's a guy carving up the pizzas, right? He's slicing up the pizzas. He's in charge of the pizza. He's the rich guy who has all the pizzas.
He's Mr.
Right?
Pizza. Yes, we got big pizza right here.
The person in front of you is I'm going to leave race out of it, a rich business owner, right?
Okay. Those can be a lot of people.
he slices it into 10 slices, right?
Okay. Right.
He gives the business owner 9 of those slices, right?
Yeah. Wait, how many people are in line?
Just you and the business owner.
So it's not even a line as much as it is just us getting pizza.
There's a guy in front of you in line who gets most of the pizza.
All right.
And then you see the slice, you see that 9th slice that's left, right?
Okay.
And then
the
9 people,
because he took 9 slices.
Yes, the 10th. Thank you.
We were both very bad at those math word problems.
I've been drinking. I had to wake up to do this because I was about ready to fall asleep.
The clause, the law.
Yes. So you've got that last slice in front of you. You're ready to have your slice of pizza. And then, all your coworkers show up. And there's 9 people behind you. So the guy in charge carves that last slice into 10 slices and gives you a 10th of that last slice. And that's that you're almost understanding how bad it is, but it's like it's worse than that. You know?
No, yeah, I mean? I get. I mean, I'm sure we're all thankful for your little economics lesson. Like, okay, all right. So it's a pizza, right? And this guy,
I just want to make it easy,
let's say the government,
when
right?
you say $1 trillion and $1 billion and $1 million, it just sounds like a ton of fucking money.
Yeah,
and I can't wrap my head around that.
No, I can't wrap my head around somebody had $1 million 1,000,000 times, and so
it's amazing.
And Jesus.
And for a man to have $1 million 1,000,000 times 1,000,000 times,
yeah, like, yeah. What? Like, you have. So
what they do when they have that much money and they're just sitting around and they're bored, they just figure out ways to pit us against each other. You know,
dude. Yeah.
How can we make somebody mad at somebody else? How can we cook up a conspiracy theory? You know,
it is weird that that there are a couple people that have more money than certain countries. Like, it's fucking crazy.
There are people who have more money than they could spend in 1,000 lifetimes, 1,000,000 lifetimes.
Yeah. It's fucked. It's very fucked. But, they're gonna die. Everybody's gonna fucking die.
Anybody who's a billionaire could spend $1 million a day for 100 years.
Dude, that'd be nuts. That'd be crazy town.
And why don't they just do that? Why don't they just go have fun? Why don't they just go buy people houses? Just buy a house for somebody.
I mean,
just
you
want a house?
There are some people that do that, but like the fucked up part of it is they just use it as a tax write-off. So it can't just all be good. There has to be a level of game.
If it gave a person a home and they let people into their home and suddenly there's people living in a house, that's what I'm saying. It's like these people who have all this money and all they do is figure out ways to make more money. And that's these people. And I want to keep focused on your fucking racist friend. Let's play that special song. But it's
hold on, let me go grab a cold claw. Because I've chugged through these two way faster than I thought I would.
Get some drinks. Oof, I'm gonna play saxophone real quick. Yeah. So I made him say it. Nelson hates white people. But it's okay because I hate white people. We're coming for you, white people. We got blasters on deck. We'll shoot you in the neck. I don't listen to Beck. He's a Scientologist.
Oh shit! Look at Xander playing with his toys. Is that your new pocket pussy?
Yeah. My favorite thing when you turn it off, it's the sound that when he dies.
Oh shit!
Oh my god, it's so fucking fun.
Man, I've been playing God of War all day, and
I didn't even play Animal Crossing today. Oh my god, my villagers are probably worried about me.
It's probably what's got you so riled up. You haven't had your calm. You know, you haven't had your docile
You got
medicine.
me so stressed about real life racism that I couldn't give all my island people coconut juice today. Thanks a lot, bud. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, instead of coconut juice, you've been drinking that real turbulent juice. Feeling all turbulent.
I've had several vodkas and juices. So anyway, yeah. The real problem is that rich people are too rich and poor people are too poor. But the rich people spend a lot of money making poor people hate other poor people. And if you need proof, just watch Fox News. And yeah, that last thing at the bottom, I didn't mean to do this, but it started to rhyme, and so I just ran with it. I wanted to do some preacher shit.
Oh boy!
So,
God. Is it gonna be black preacher shit?
I'm gonna leave race out of this one, buddy.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna grab my sword, and I'm gonna.
We have to regulate how to educate so we can set them straight. Oh, y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me right now.
I'm pretty pissed off because you actually you kind of spoiled it.
I'm sorry. Oh boy.
This is why we need to start doing pre-show meetings.
I couldn't resist the black preacher thing. When you brought up preacher, I was like,
here it comes. Oh, here it comes. Here's my black preacher thing.
Oh boy.
What happens if you think your friend is a racist?
Okay.
Right? What happens if you think they might be a Nazi? Tolerate. Right? Try to educate.
Oh, teach
them. Let them know. Let them know why they're wrong.
Woo!
But if you can't, evacuate. Leave them alone. Isolate completely. Tell their friends that guy's a fucking Nazi. So I don't know. Yours was better, and like I said, I'm sure.
Oh man,
yours was better, but that's what I've tried to do. I had this happen. I've had this happen a few times in my life. I've had all kinds of like cool punk people who I knew growing up. Oh man, you like Rancid? Oh man, you like The Clash? What else are you into? Screwdriver. You know, and it's like,
boy. Yeah,
what are they like? I want to hear them. And then it's like, have you ever listened to that band?
Screwdriver?
Yeah.
No.
I'll put it this way.
I know who they are. That's why I haven't listened to them.
If we ever cover Screwdriver, you have to sing it because I can't do it because there's too many N-words, and there's definitely no black dudes in this band. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, when I'm like 13 years old, figuring out what punk rock is, and there's a dude who's like 15 years old, and is like, punk rock is this, and it's all white supremacist shit. Like my heart sinks, and I'm like, "There's no way that's true."
Yeah, dude. Like that's what bummed me out. Like, because I got into punk like with like not that, you know, and like to find out that like, oh, fucking punk, that's my shit, you know. Like my dad was, you know, into like
the roots of punk is biracial though. It came out of ska, which was the checkerboard, which was
that's what I'm saying. Like I fucking, you know, I came into it, you know, on the good side of things, and so it's like, yeah, I'm super fucking bummed out to find out that like, oh no, they're like Nazis, you know, got into this and just kind of made it not fun, you know, and it's like, they're in
punk. They're everywhere, man.
Yeah, dude, like fucking the whole Nazi punk thing it's just so like it's always gonna bum me out because it's like, dude, we are having fun And now you guys are coming in here with your boots and your red laces, and you're making people uncomfortable, and you're making the pit not fun because you're fucking actively trying to hurt somebody.
Yeah, you're trying to hurt people instead of just having a good time.
Exactly. Instead of us just shoving each other and jumping around, like you guys are fucking like swinging on people and all this shit, and it's just like, dude, fucking Punk was fun, and you guys just like fucking racist white people. I think we've probably said this on the show before.
Well, that's the opposite of what Punk is about. Punk is about
racist white people. Racist white people are why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, and a racist punk is an oxymoron. You're either a racist or you're a punk, because punk is excellence. Punk is being good to people no matter what.
Exactly.
And punk is intolerance for bad people. So if you don't like a person just because they don't look the way you look and they're not wearing the same style of clothing as you, sorry, bro, you're not fucking punk. You're a fucking piece of shit. You're a judgmental ass.
Exactly.
And you're not part of our scene. And if you want to start regulating the scene with your violence, there's 10 of us to 1 of you, and we're gonna step up to that shit. And I've seen it in a million mosh pits, and I feel like it's just now coming out to mainstream culture. I've been talking about this. I mentioned a little bit of this with my stepmom earlier. She gave me a ride home from Kroger because there was a lightning storm coming up, and she's not. You can't. I would hesitate to even call her a liberal. You know what I mean? She's like as centrist and normal as they come.
Yeah, but she's even a nice lady.
She's a sweetheart, though. I love her. I'm not talking shit. That's just she's not like radical the way like you or I might be.
Exactly. She's she's a suburban she's a suburban MILF.
Sure. Yeah.
She's your
absolutely.
She's your stepmom. I can say that.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, it's fine. But
gotta shoot that shot.
But my point was she even is like alarmed at all of the weird white supremacist shit that we're seeing from cops, we're seeing from political leaders, we're seeing from Donald Trump. It's like everyone is freaked out by it, and for me, I just feel completely in a weird way I feel vindicated, where it's like I've been seeing this shit.
This was the shit that like people have been talking about, but now that you put a bright fluorescent light on it, people are just like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And it's like, it's this way because it's gone on, unrecognized for so long, and now people are like out and proud with it.
It used to be a mole that is a weird color, and now it's a tumor that's the president of the United States. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucked up, dude. It's like, I don't know. I'm kind of proud of myself. I just came up with that off the top of my head, and I feel really. I should write for the New York Times. Should I move to New York?
No, we're staying where we are. We will win remotely. All right, we're not going anywhere. I'm not moving to LA. We're not moving to New York.
South.
We're gonna burn this place down again. I got a Sherman's march then.
Proud, dude. Sherman's gonna be stoked about us, man.
Oh my god,
I'm here for it. I used to joke about that all the time, man.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Except with us, it's more Sherman Hemsley. That was such a stupid joke.
Let's burn it down with entertainment. Why not?
Exactly, because I don't know much about the Sherman guy that burned down Atlanta. For all I know, he could have been not the best guy, but he did a cool thing.
Yeah, I took all my history classes in Utah.
Oh,
and so it was all like the Donner Party, and like, here's why the Mormons aren't really that weird. And it's like, no, they're still really fucking weird. And especially it's like the way they say, hey, the Mormons aren't weird. And they do that right after they talk to you about like the people who had to eat their friends to survive the cold winter. And it's like,
what? I'm sorry, what?
Okay, the Donner Party, you know about that.
I do not. I do not know about that. No, I don't. The latter half of my 8th grade year, I took a class called Georgia Studies. Georgia History, which I'm like, they don't do this anywhere. Why am I learning this?
every state learns about their state.
No, I moved here and had like 2 months left of 8th grade here, and they were like, we're putting you here are your classes, and like you know how you have math, science, social studies. For some reason, it was just Georgia history. I'm like,
I had Utah history.
What?
Yeah, but a main part of Utah history, even though this happened in Colorado, was the Donner Party. Okay. So these are like Oregon Trail style explorers with their covered wagons and their oxen and whatever.
Oh, I thought you meant like early internet people.
No, this is
you get it, the Oregon Trail.
What that's based on is this. But so
I'll be here all week.
They got snowed. They got snowed in, and they had to eat each other. Basically, it was like if you froze to death, you became food for the rest of the group of people. And that was just how they did it for a while. And that's how they made it through the winter. And yeah.
Well, I mean, shit, dude. If it comes
that was
to
that was like the first thing that I learned in Utah history, and then everything else was like the Mormons tried to make their own country in the middle of America, and they had their own civil war with America for like 50 years. But that's totally normal. We won't even talk about that for more than 4 days. It was like,
oh my god, what?
It was like they hit you really hard with like these cannibals that were almost frozen to death, and then they just gloss over like the Mormon Church might have actually tried to made their own country in the middle of the United States, but we won't even talk about that. And then the whole rest of the year is just like, here's why the Mormon Church and the U.S. government are both the best thing that you could ever be a part of. And I want to keep talking, but I have to piss and grab a beer first, okay?
All right, there's Xander. He's back. There's the boy. There's the man. I didn't vape or anything. I just did coke for like 10 minutes. I'm kidding.
This goth girl I know posted this thing, and this other goth girl posted a reply where she was like, I sleep with my giant Yoshi every night. So I had to ask her if she wanted to marry me, and it turned to this whole thing. Oh. And but actually I did that because it took me so long to piss that I was like bored. Does that ever happen to you, or like
that you get so bored pissing that you ask somebody to marry you? No, I'm sorry, that hasn't happened to me.
It's like I think I just want to switch to dipes, dude. Like I don't even want.
Dude, every gamer has that thought, dude. Every gamer has had that thought of like, I mean, especially. Especially now that you've got like the comfortable gamer's chair, like the thought was coming. Like, man, dude, like if I
would never wear a diaper in this chair. No way. I'd maybe wear a diaper on the couch, but not this chair.
Oh
no
my
way.
God, just
dude, no, I don't.
Might have to switch to some dipes. You know. Hey man, if we get a sponsor, if we get some of that sweet like Depends ad revenue, then shit.
I know those Cumtown boys have like one of those. They have like an underwear company that they sponsors them.
MeUndies. They work with everybody that's not us.
It's like Microbial.
And that's MeUndies.
Why don't the adult diaper companies and the antimicrobial underwear companies work together and making a piss pants that we can just wear and not go to the toilet anymore? Because I would piss my pants if it would just evaporate.
I think that's the big search, that if we ever do get like an adult diaper sponsor, we'll have to do like a 5-hour podcast where we're just sitting there. We got all our shit in front of us, no breaks, 5 hours straight.
goals, right? At first, you're sponsored by like a coffee company, and then you're sponsored by like a chair company, and then you're sponsored by a grown-up diaper company. And
then we sit in comfortable chairs.
You should vote Republican, you fucking piece of shit.
We sit in comfortable chairs, drinking very strong coffee and pissing our pants for 5 hours.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Oh my god, that's
goals. This is the comedy part of the podcast, everybody. We're into the parts now.
Okay, yes. We're gonna. This is the funny part now. You see, if you didn't know before, but
in case we weren't entertaining for the last hour, now we're gonna be pretty funny. Now we're gonna do it. What's our next game, dude? What's the next game that we're gonna play? We did Spider-Man.
Okay,
we're almost done with Spider-Man.
Yeah, we're almost done with Spider-Man. Oh shit! What should we play? What should we play? I want to knock out something that we can knock out in like.
I want you to pick an old school game that you want to see the whole thing, because you have this weird like. You act like you're allergic to old school shit. And it's
I'm not allergic to old school shit. There's some old games that
they're so bad. They're so hard to like if you don't know what you like.
Yeah, they have flaws. Like I said, I was playing God of War today, and that game has a lot of flaws.
And that's a recent game as far as I'm concerned. Like that game was out when I was in like high school. You know what I mean? So
okay.
I'm 33 now, but it still feels relatively new because I wasn't 5 when it came out.
I wasn't 5 when it came out. You fucking ass.
No, okay. I'm talking about like Castlevania feels old to me because I was like 5 when that game came out.
Okay, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure I was in middle school when God of War came out.
You posted a game on us playing on YouTube the other day. What was it, Rygar from like 1987? That game came out the year I was born, and it was so weird.
Which game were we playing?
I'm pretty sure it was called Rygar, like Rygar, and it was like.
Hold on.
It was so weird, and and I'm like watching it, like we played this. I don't even remember playing this, and it was like
I
copyright.
think we played. No, it was Vice Project Doom.
We did that as well, but that was also really cool.
I think it was that and Kung Fu Heroes.
And there was another game called Rygar that we played.
We played Rygar on that video? I don't remember, dude.
But it was like, and it just made me reflect on like, oh my god, shit! The year I was born was fucked up, and everything's been fucked up ever since then.
Yeah, dude.
And anything that you ever thought was normal is just an illusion, and nothing is normal. Everything is bad. Everything is terrible. And the only thing you can do is try to turn those terrible things into something really cool and awesome.
I'm going down a list to try and find a game that we should play. Like, what console do you want to go for? Do you want to go for like the Switch or PS4?
I mean, whatever, man. I have so many games. We can play Mario Galaxy. We can play.
Well, I'm trying to think of a game that like we can knock out the story mode of in like 3 days. Because Spider-Man, that game's like fucking 70 hours long. So like,
I've played Ocarina of Time enough times that we could probably do that just to get it under our belts, just to have a Zelda game, on the list.
Bitches love Zelda.
There's another, it's almost a Final Fantasy game. It's a spin-off called Chrono Trigger. You ever play that?
Yeah, I've played Chrono Trigger.
Oh, Chrono Trigger is one of my favorite games ever. And it has like 20 endings, but to get the normal one, we could do that in a day. We could do that in a 16 Guinnesses for sure.
Well, then we'll knock out Chrono Trigger next. So people be on the lookout for that. But okay, let me
the fans are paying attention.
Let me tell you about my problems with God of War. Okay.
Let's talk God of War. Yeah.
So this was one of the first like beat 'em up games or whatever, right? And so
no, it wasn't.
Okay.
No, hold on.
You know what I mean, like the modern style of old man Xander over here. He's glitching out, folks.
First beat 'em up games. Okay, it was one of the best PlayStation 2 adventure games. First beat 'em up games. Final Fight, Streets of Rage, Double Dragon.
Okay, but if you let me finish, you know what I mean. Like that modern style of beat 'em up games, of like the adventure, like free roaming beat 'em up games. You know what I meant. Like,
I want to start with the popular French dish called chow mein. Like, I just wanted to make sure we were all correct here. You know what I mean? Like, we got to get our facts straight.
You know what I meant, you son of a bitch. You do. But, okay, so the thing I don't like about this game is that the game chooses the camera angles for you. Okay?
Oh, yes.
Like, you walk into a room, and the camera will just, like, whoomp, and you'll be like...
PlayStation.
Like, I fucking hate that shit, because, like... You know, it's like, to figure out where to go in these adventure games, you know, it helps to be able to look around and fucking see, like, oh, maybe that's the exit, you know, but instead, you it just sets the camera angle and you have to run around the thing and fucking figure it out. Like,
did you ever play any of the Resident Evil games on the first PlayStation?
No.
The same.
Yeah.
Same thing, dude. Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, and then also Dino Crisis 2, 1 and 2. It was the same thing. You walked into a room, and it's like, the camera's way over there. And now forward would always be forward, but you didn't always want to be going forward if you didn't know where you were going.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a motherfucker would smack you from off screen. You don't know what's fucking hitting you until you get to where the camera needs you to be.
Dude, yeah, like it'll do this thing where like it'll put the camera like right in front of you while you're running down a hallway. And then and I'm like, okay, yeah, Kratos looks cool, but like
that's fuck, old school Resident Evil shit. I
hate that.
Back in the day when, like, see, that's the fucked up thing is, like, so that's the original God of War, right? Like, PlayStation 2?
Yeah, I was playing the first one.
Right, so back then, and that was, like, this is how you play PlayStation. The camera picks where you go. And,
I hate that so much.
That's just that. And that was, it's such a fucked up thing that, like, that was a style difference, because Nintendo 64 comes out with Mario 64, and it's like, we've got buttons just for the camera.
Exactly. You've got the shit that just moves the camera angle so you can see everything and figure out where to go. Like,
even I've been playing the HD remakes of the old school Final Fantasy games, like Final Fantasy 7 and 8 and 9.
Oh yeah, where they cram just part of Final Fantasy 7 into the remake.
No, that's the PlayStation 4 one. I've been playing the one on Switch where it's literally just the PlayStation game, but just like on the Switch, you know?
Oh, well, that's...
I like it better. But it's the same thing. It's like static background. Sorry. Take
good?
2.
You good, Playboy?
Take 2. Take 3. Static background. You just walk around where you think you maybe can go. And you can't look around, you can't move the camera, any of that shit. That's just gone. And it's like, that was like a style for old school games, but it's like...
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's not a good style. You know what I mean?
No, it's not like... because the game will set up...
I got genital warts, but that's just like my style, you know? I like my dick to be lumpy.
The game will like do this thing where it like will set up like a super cool, like a cool, like visually looking angle where you're like running down a thing and you can see all this shit going on behind you. But at the same time, it's like, dude, I don't fucking care. Like, if I'm running forward, I don't want to see what's on the side of me. I want to see what I'm running to, you know? Like, oh God, like that's been bothering me the whole time.
It's like those like Sonic Adventure Dreamcast levels where it shows Sonic running towards the camera, and there's like a killer whale jumping around, just destroying shit.
Yeah,
and it's
dude.
like, it's the year 1999, and the last video game you saw was like Super Mario 3 or whatever, and you're super impressed by it.
Yeah, it's like at the time it's like it's blowing your mind, but it's like
as far as video games go, it's like I don't need to see what's behind me. I need to see what's coming up next.
Exactly. Like it's visually great, but it hinders the game.
And that's a lot of what I was ranting about in my Spider-Man review. So that's pretty cool. There's all this foreshadowing in this podcast, man. We're making the fans salivate for what we're actually cooking for them.
I thought about putting together a review for God of War, but like I was just like, no, Nelson, just play a game, have some fun, and then I'm like, oh my God, there is so much wrong with this game.
Do it, man.
Fuck.
Do it.
I'm probably gonna end up doing it because like
I'm gonna do that. No, for real. You do that one. I'll do the Mega Man one, and we'll do the Spider-Man.
I'm gonna wait and see how I feel. I'm gonna wait and see how I feel by the time I finish it. But if I still feel this way at the end, then yeah.
As a brand, though, that helps us because it's like
that's why I have all these games here, because it's like I need
individual and joint reviews. Like, we're not just the Game Grumps, dude. We have our own heads and our skulls.
Yeah, well, we're definitely not the Game Grumps. I mean,
we don't have that kind of money. We're not racist.
Yeah, well, former Game Grumps. Yeah, but I'm definitely over here catching up on games myself. I got a whole goddamn library of PlayStation 2 games that like, fucking here we go, baby. Shit, man.
Yes, dude. You know what? Super Nintendo is my favorite, but PlayStation 2 is my second favorite.
PS2 is where my
many good games, man.
Yeah, but also so many bad ones.
Times, and so many middle ones. That's the other thing. Is there were some games that weren't good or bad. They were just games, and they were fun, and it was like, and they were worth having, And that's something that's like missing today. It's like every game has to be the biggest budget fucking thing that you pay $60 for, and it's like, oh my God, cutting edge graphics.
And it's got to have Ellen Page in it.
Not anymore. That's like a 2011 reference.
Yeah, I know.
Stay fresh. That Gucci
stay fresh from the guy who fucking hasn't played a recent game in years besides Animal Crossing. Okay.
Let me tell you about my friend Breath of the Wild.
Oh, a game that came out like 2 or 3 years ago.
Mortal Kombat Aftermath. Hello.
Hello. I've got the DLC for Mortal Kombat.
Next time you come over, we're writing reviews for all of the fighting games.
It's got RoboCop in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could fucking dude. Every fighting game.
Yeah, I want to do that. I want to get your feedback on this shit.
Oh, we're gonna be divided just because. We're gonna be divided just because of how I feel about Street Fighter.
Dude, I read more about. There is a real game called Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Oh yeah.
It's just Street Fighter 4 though, with some second people.
Yeah,
it's not.
That's it.
I'm mad. It's not fair.
You're right, because it would be a lot better if it was Street Fighter versus Tekken and it was actually a 3D fighting game, because then it would be good.
What my research has led me to believe is that it was a joint agreement where Capcom would make their game and then Namco would make their game. And the guy at Namco responsible for Tekken has been waiting because he wants it to be really, really good. You know what I mean? So Street Fighter versus Tekken, they rushed it out. They wanted it to be like, oh, here it is. Yeah. Here's our Tekken game. I think Tekken versus Street Fighter is what we really fucking need, dude.
I mean, that's what we're getting, since they put, when they put Akuma in Tekken 7, like that was like, okay, here's what you do.
Yeah. But like, but when the roster is half and half, and then it's all made by the people who make Tekken, where like
there you
Blanca's there, Chun-Li is there, and like Zangief is there.
So you do agree with my argument that if Street Fighter was a 3D fighting game, then it would be better. But because it never caught up and it's still just a 2D,
my core argument is that Street Fighter is better because of magic.
Wow.
It's better because of magic.
They have magic in Tekken.
Tekken is doing better at magic, but they need more magic before they are as good as Street Fighter.
Tekken's better than Street Fighter.
Almost.
Except completely.
It's almost, I feel like it's like the master with the student, you know. Street Fighter came first.
Oh, fuck Street Fighter.
Dude, well, come on. Street Fighter was like 80s. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but now Street Fighter never aged. Street Fighter...
The 90s came around and Street Fighter was like, oh, Tekken, you have much to learn. Let me show you. And Tekken was like, I can teach you, teacher. And that's when it became,
And then they fucking lapped him.
That's like the plot of every fighting game, though.
They lapped them, and then they took their characters, and then they went to Final Fantasy, and they said, "We'll have that." And then they went to The Walking Dead, and they said, "We'll have one Negan, please." And like they went around, and Tekken was like, yeah.
Street Fighter had X-Men in like 1996, so if you're gonna use that argument,
don't even get me started on Soul Calibur, my dude.
X-Men versus Street Fighter. That's such a fun game. I'm gonna buy that. Have you heard? There's an there. Oh, I'm not gonna talk about it because I don't want.
The only thing Capcom has good is Marvel versus Capcom. That's it. That's all they got. Because you made me like Street Fighter because you put superheroes
to me
in it.
It's like, I don't eat cheeseburgers. I only eat triple bacon deluxe burgers if they're breaded and deep fried. And it's like, okay,
sounds like it would taste better.
So it's like, I understand. You want the one that's all fancy and covered in gravy.
I want the best tasting burger.
But you gotta respect basics.
Nope.
Next time you come over, we're only playing 2D games, and I'm gonna make you use the big ass joysticks I got. It's gonna be one of those days.
Oh shit! Oh man, I mean, it's fucking Street.
We're gonna play best of Street Fighter 1, 2, and 3. Oh my
god! Because I know people would be like, "What's
the real?" If I get the arcade 1-up of like NBA Jam and Marvel vs. Capcom, can we like feature that shit? Yeah. I need to get my money back if we do that. It's like $1,000, dude. Yeah. I gotta sell a guitar if I do that.
So just to make myself clear, I don't hate Street Fighter. I respect Street Fighter. Okay?
He respects his elders. He just doesn't want to talk to them every day.
Yeah, exactly. I don't call my grandparents every day. But I love them and respect them.
Yeah, that's how I feel. My mom is terrible. Like, she just says Rush Limbaugh racist Donald Trump shit every time I talk to her. And so it's like, she's my mom and I love her, but I'm not going to be like, hey, Ma, come over, And so it's like, I get that. To you, Street Fighter is your mom.
No, Street Fighter is because I'll at least text my mom every day.
I'm sorry. I forgot that you love your mom. I'm sorry. That's a different.
Street Fighter is your mom. Street Fighter's like a grandparent to me. I don't call him every day, but I love him and respect him. Yeah, but Tekken 7 is like a girlfriend. Or I'll hit that bitch up and fucking.
Oh god, anytime. You need to come over now? Come over now. Yeah,
exactly.
No, it's fine. cancel my plans.
Oh, we gonna knock out some Tekken? Like, oh, what time is it? 3 a.m? Whatever. I'll body somebody in Tekken. What's Lucky Chloe doing? Let's wake her up. You know, like, we'll fucking boogie down, man. You know, but like.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. I don't know. There's rumors about a new Street Fighter coming out or something.
Are they finally going to make it 3D? Because I mean, I gave them props in the newest one for like finally improving the character models and not making like animated 3D models, if that makes sense. You know what I mean, right? Where they're not just
I kind of think MK11 showed that you can do a 2D fighter with good graphics and make it work.
Okay, exactly. So why can't Street Fighter do that?
Yeah, I hope Street Fighter 6 is better than 5 because it's like I love all these games and I love Street Fighter in like a deep personal way.
Street Fighter 5 is just Street Fighter 4, but it's prettier. Like it's the same fucking game.
They didn't change much, and you know. My favorite is still 3. I love Street Fighter 3. It's Third Strike. I'll play Third Strike for hours.
I like Street Fighter 2 a lot.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's a banger of a game. But yeah, it's like, Street Fighter got hella stagnant. So, fuck.
New shit came out. It's all good.
I mean, and then Soul Calibur. I look at Soul Calibur like a fuck buddy side chick. Like, oh, what's up? All right, cool. Yeah, let's go knock it out and make it quick because that game's fast as fuck.
There's still at least one more DLC character coming out for this current Soul Calibur, and I'm stoked. I don't know who they're gonna do, but I'm ready for anybody.
I do love me some Soul Calibur. I feel like as far as fighting games, it does not get enough credit.
Yeah, it's the underdog, and it's fucking great.
For sure. Fuck. Oh, fucking fly got in here. I thought I closed my fucking window.
All right, so here's my list of reasons why we shouldn't kill flies. Hey.
I get it. I think I got that little fucker. Yeah, I got it. Man. But yeah, man. Okay, so did you want to address anything else before we close out this episode? Because we've probably got a good hour and a half on our hands.
Yeah, we've been on it for a minute. I'm always pissed off about a lot of things. That's part of the problem for me. But it's all good. I think we did enough for this time. When are we getting back to work? Do we have more streams coming up, man, or what's up?
Yeah, we'll be streaming again on Monday. We'll be streaming it on Monday. Fucking look out for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the IndiCon Games YouTube channel, you sons of bitches.
We're almost done with Street Fighter. We're almost done with Spider-Man. We need to just finish story mode on Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, we're almost done with that. Those videos are coming soon. They're fucking
X is coming up.
They're hilarious. The Spider-Man Last of Us episode that I just finished is so fucking funny. Oh my god!
I'm excited to see what you've been up to,
dude. Yeah, I don't know if I uploaded it to schedule it on the YouTube channel, but yeah,
I don't really watch that shit anyway, so it's like the fourth Spider-Man video that's gonna be coming out, and oh my god, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but if you played The Last of Us, or if you like The Last of Us, then you're going to find this game fun. Or you're going to find these videos funny. We're doing reviews and spoofs and entertainment based on all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? It's all a good time.
But yeah, Xander needs to take his old ass to bed. I'm probably going to... I'm not even drunk, man.
7 more then.
I'm gonna stay up all night and play God of War. My name is Nelson Crawford. I've been here with Xander Cook, and this has been another episode of the Indistinct Conversation Podcast. I don't know why I said it like that.
We're on IndiCon everywhere.
Yeah,
Twitch, baby. YouTube, Patreon.
We're taking over the world. Yes, Support our Patreon to support this podcast and all of our videos and what we do. Follow us on Twitch.
Better than your average ironic video game politics podcast.
That's right. So we will see you next time, or better yet, you'll see us next time. Carpe diem, que sera, sera. Xander's warming up his pocket pussy. Does that thing squirt?
I wish it vibrated. That'd be the real.
I'm sure it would.
I vibrate it myself.
People who aren't watching the video think you actually pulled out a pocket pussy. So watch the video on Patreon, folks, or catch the highlights on YouTube. Either way, I've been Nelson Crawford with Xander Cook. This is the Indistinct Conversation Podcast. Carpe diem, que sera, sera. I'll see you next time.